All right, welcome back everybody. And we have brand new video coming in from Indiana County. So take a look. This is from Evan Hartman, and you can see water cascading in this yard. Definitely a scene many may have seen this morning. But again, this is from Indiana County and some water there.
You know, so often like this in weather events, people get hurt, maybe trying their best with their best intentions to help others, to help themselves, to clean up the mess.
Yeah, they think they're doing the right thing, or they act on impulse, and then they end up making a mistake. Yeah. And the biggest hazards, certainly floodwaters and the trees and power lines coming down. So John Shumway is joining us now with things that we may want to consider, we need to consider, just to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, especially with all the saturation that we've had lately. We're talking about the potential for mudslides. A tree that was like this, maybe like this, and you don't think anything of it, but that could be a real sign of a potential problem that's out there with the tree roots. First responders, even the experts, will warn you, it is really hard to judge the depth of water that's covering anything that you don't know exactly what's under there, and inevitably, people are getting stranded in their cars.
The most important is to not be trapped inside that car. Opening of the windows so that you can get a departure out of that vehicle as soon as possible, because at that point, if it's rising fast enough, you're probably not going to be able to get your doors open. The concern today is with power windows, how long is your electrical system staying capable that you're able to even put those windows down at that point? So again, that's why we stress that turn around, don't drown, don't even get yourself in that situation.
Allegheny County Emergency Management Chief Matt Brown says assume all downed utility lines are hot.
You've got a strain on that cabled system, if you will, that's not just involving that immediate pole, but the poles that are attached to it on either end, as well as any properties that might be attached to that. It is such an unknown condition and so unsafe.
The instinct is to grab a chainsaw and clear down trees, but Chief Brown says be careful.
Whether it's on power lines, on a property, on a car even, where you make those cuts, how you make those cuts will determine what the reaction is going to be from that tree that you're working on, and it could be a reaction you are not prepared for.
That's why they call them the widowmakers. Also, one more point about trees and power lines. Just because a tree is on the power line that you see next to the pole that you see doesn't mean that it's not causing pressure on another pole further down the line, and you could have a chain reaction by loosening that pressure by cutting that tree. That's why you leave it up to the professionals, because you just don't know what the chain reaction is going to be.
Yeah, I had no idea. When you talk about like just cutting a tree or cutting the tree up after, who knew that there were all these dangers involved in it?
Well, the tree can spring because there's pressures under it, and it can spring. And you guys, you've been in this business long enough. We've all heard the stories about people getting killed by trees after a storm.
Yeah. A lot of dangers that happen after. John, thank you so much for making us a little bit more aware of them today.